lindungilah sepenuh jiwa raga. Kita jaga keharmonian semua, maju sejahtera wilayah persekutuan.
Welcome. A fantastic day for the Ibarians and a global audience. Have you ever watched previous Chat Hour episodes? I'm sure you did. It's not a big deal if you didn't. You are free to revise the episodes after this one. My name is Jenny Yang, and I'll be the main host for this Chat Hour session. I'm from the PISMP TESL B June 2021, May 2026 intake. Here's a little explanation for those who have never seen a Chat Hour episode. Before that, editor music. No, not that one. Better. Chat Hour is a show made by the TESL students at the Institute of Teacher Education International Languages campus, with various sections to cover news inside and outside of IPGKBA, provide extra information about interesting things that you might not even realize exist in our society, and most importantly, to entertain people like you. This is the 7th episode of Chat Hour, and its popularity has steadily increased from the first episode. Before we get started, the Chat Hour crew would like to thank our sponsor for today. Oh, we do not have a sponsor, but we are in need of a camera right now. Don't need. Alright, without further ado, let's check out what happened in IPGKBA after the previous episode of Chat Hour. Masha Diana, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chen Yang, and hello to you, my fellow friends. Now I'm sure some of you are curious about the current events that are happening in IPGKBA today. Well, even if you are not curious, I'm still going to talk about it. What can we say? The more the merrier. So sit back, relax, get comfy, and lend me your dear ears, my friends. Since it is Deepavali Day, obviously, we cannot miss this wonderful holiday of our respected Hindu Sikh and Jain, can we? For this glorious day, IPGKBA students did a lot of things to make this day more prosperous, for this holiday to be more exciting than before, not only for those celebrating Deepavali to enjoy, but also for those who don't celebrate the holiday as well. During this holiday, some of the students of IPGKBA they celebrated Deepavali by visiting Batu Caves, Little India, malls and more. As we all know, these places have been heavily decorated with Deepavali ornaments and decorations like diyas, rangoli, candles, string lights and paper lanterns. Can you imagine how festive these places would look like with all of those colorful and unique decorations and ornaments as per tradition? How dreamy. Well, anyways, let's not waste any more time. Should we move on to the video made by the students during Deepavali? Well, that was wonderful, wasn't it? You must have wished you were there, right? Well, I mean, I wish I was there. So, well, maybe next time. I think that's all from News 8 of IPGKBA. So, Chen Yang, you may continue with the next segment.
Wow, what a nice video about what happened at the hometown of IPGKBA student during Deepavali. I wish I could join them and have some muruku and play some fireworks. In any case, the next section will be about entertainment. I've heard that someone will be dancing in the section. Nur Amisha, the ball is in your court.
Thank you, young. As predicted, the news always travels so fast. Yeah, right. That will be professional Indian performance today by me. Just kidding. So let us welcome one of the Indian students in Kashmira. Hi, Kashmira. So how are you today?
I'm feeling really good.
Alright. So before anything, let us instantly continue Kashmira with your question. So what exactly is it called?
Well, Deepavali in general is our Indian New Year, but it's also the festival of lights. The bad is defeated by the good. Thus, light defeats darkness.
Alright, that's interesting, isn't it? Now, the second question. What words come into mind when you think of Deepavali?
Well, the only word that comes to my mind when I think of Deepavali is a big family reunion. Because come on, everybody comes down to all the grandparents' house and we celebrate it together.
Of course, it's like any other celebration. Now, the last question. What is your favorite activity during Deepavali?
Well, it's definitely eating the Indian traditional food.
Yummy!
Because, come on, Indian traditional foods are really good and it's packed with spices.
Now I'm hungry. So, without further ado, here Kashmira will give a few performance. She will dance a good dance. So, without further ado, let's get it started. Because that was so amazing.
Thank you.
Wait,
I heard you're quite interested in joining me since you mentioned performing earlier. So let's teach you one about Indian dance.
well, that would be a very great opportunity for me.
Alright, so let's dance.
Sure.
Alright. So first, you gotta start like this. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna open your hands. And once you open your hands, you gotta turn your leg this way. So, one.
Alright.
One. Yes. And then the next one is you gotta bounce your body. You open up and you bounce, yes. And then next is this step. And then you turn. And then hands on your hips and your shoulder. And you just bounce your hips. Yes. Alright. Your hands is in position like this. And it goes from up to down. 4 times. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next step is touching your elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
That's quite interesting, isn't it? Thank you so much. Okay. So, you guys got the steps. If you have, congratulations. And that's because the Indian dance performance are worth of thousands of years old and plays an important part in Hindu culture. In Hinduism, all art forms like dance, music, paintings, and sculpture convey the meaning, the beautiful meaning, and divine side of humanity. The most sublime expression of what moves the soul is dance. The Natyashastra is the oldest literary document about the art of Indian dance. It contains the knowledge revealed to the great sage Bharata by God Brahma, according to mythology. This comprehensive work, also named the Fifth Veda, describes dances, music, paintings, acting, and sculpture in many details. Alright, so the sacred art of dancing tells the sacred tales of Indian mythology, and it is fascinatingly describe gods, men, animals, emotions using hand gestures like mudras, acting, and pantomime. So basically, for many centuries, diverse classical dance styles and folk dances were developed in India. It is like classical styles such as Kathak, Odissi, Manipuri in the north, and then we have Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, and Kathakali in the south are based on Natya Shastra. So I guess that's all from us. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Isn't it wonderful that you can learn English and dance by watching only one show? I can't hear your response, but you may leave a comment in the field below. It would also be amazing if you could click the like button to show your support for the content. Speaking of Deepavali, have you guys ever wondered about how people celebrate Deepavali in India and if it is any different from those who celebrate in Malaysia? Oh, I bet you all are excited to know. Let's go to What in the World, Ainina and Aisha. It's time for you to shout.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Never fails to provide his best performance as always. Now, let's not waste any time anymore, since I myself am curious to know. Now, tell me, Ainina, what do you know about Deepavali celebration in India? Is it any different from the celebration in Malaysia?
Sure, Aisha, anything for you, and of course for our lovely audience too. Celebrating Deepavali in India is a bit different as we see here. Deepavali celebration in India is divided into two regions, and each region has its own means of celebrating. If people in northern India celebrate Deepavali to celebrate the story of King Rama's return to Ayodhya after he defeated Ravana by lighting rows of clay lamps, then southern India is different as they celebrate it as the day Lord Krishna defeated the demon Narakasura. However, everyone who celebrates Deepavali, they share the same reason, which is to invite goodness and happiness into their lives.
I see. So, what about their way of celebration? I heard that it is different in each region.
North Indians and South Indians share the same way of celebration. However, the only thing that differs is the duration of the festivities. Compared to 3 days of celebration by the South Indians, people who live in North India celebrate Deepavali for 5 days. During the 5-day celebration, they will have specific activities according to each day. Day 1 and day 2 are when they will make preparations to celebrate Deepavali. And during these times, they will buy gold or cooking utensils as they believe it will bring them fortunes. They also create designs patterns called rangoli on the floor using colored powders or sand.
This reminds me of kolam. Malaysians who celebrate Deepavali also create the same design patterns. What happened during the next 3 days then, Ainina? I'm sure that I am not the only one who's excited to know more.
I can see that you are eager to learn more, Aisha. Now, where were we? Okay. On day 3, which is the main day of Deepavali, they will gather with their respective families for Lakshmi Puja, a prayer to the goddess Lakshmi, followed by mouth-watering feasts and firework festivities. The next day, they will visit their friends and relatives with gifts, and finally, they will visit their married sisters for the last day.
That is so interesting. We can see that they have the specific activities held on each day.
Now that I feel like we are taking too much spotlight here, let us move on to how Malaysians celebrate Deepavali, shall we? Aisha, care to enlighten us?
Well, speaking of celebrations, Deepavali celebration in Malaysia is the same as in India. This is because, historically, they brought the culture from India. However, the duration of the festivities is shorter. Deepavali is usually celebrated for 1 day in Malaysia. However, they are free to hold open houses on any day they want. Usually, Indians who stay in the estate or village celebrate Deepavali is a bit longer. As well As we all know that Malaysia is a multicultural country, then it is no wonder that cultural assimilation happens. During Deepavali, people also give away money in an envelope, just like Chinese New Year, which is called ang pao. They also will serve Indian traditional food as halwa, laddu, and many more. Talking about food makes me hungry all of a sudden.
Next, we'll interview two of our friends that celebrate Deepavali. What's interesting is one of them is celebrating as a Hindu and the other one as a Muslim. Roll it!
I'm with my partner here, Ainida. Now that we have our mission for today, let's call them.
Welcome ladies, welcome to our In the World talk show.
So I have a question. Being an Indian Muslim, how do you celebrate Deepavali?
I do celebrate Deepavali because I still have other family members who is Hindu, just to show my respect to them. I do take part in the process of making kolam and kueh such as muruku. But just to make it clearer, I don't do any rituals such as mantu.
Then how about you, Asmawati? What are your experience about being an Indian Muslim?
Being an Indian Muslim in Malaysia is actually fun, except for the part when it gets awkward, when people ask you questions that make you go blank. For example, like, do I pray to any other god beside Allah SWT and so on? But then, I take it positively, they want to learn, so we give chances for them to learn. But on top of that, I feel like it's actually very fun to live in Malaysia as an Indian Muslim due to the fact that I have unique family background and history for them.
We heard that each family has their own ways to celebrate Deepavali. What about your family then?
Well, for my family, on that day of Deepavali, we will be waking up early and then we'll get our oil bath, which is to remove the bad vibration, and then we will get ready to the temple, and after that, we will take our breakfast, which is my favorite part because that's why I will be waiting for the whole year to taste that breakfast, which is thosai, idli, chicken curry, mutton curry. It will be very tasty, delicious. And then my Deepavali will continue until the next day. We all will be gathering at my grandmother's house, and then we will celebrate by playing firecrackers and then enjoying all the Deepavali snacks.
That is good. During Deepavali, does the color of your clothes play a role? Chinese, for example, love to use red or gold colors during their festivals. But how about Deepavali?
I don't think so. Usually we all wear vibrant colors and bright colors so that it shows our emotions and happiness. Colorful means happiness. Yeah, that's the thing.
And then for the last question, if Malay people are famous for their lemang, ketupat and rendang as eight dishes, what about Deepavali? Is it mandatory to have a certain menu every year or is it always changing?
No. Actually, we will have, the snacks like muruku, and then there are more things. Like I can just list it out, but y'all don't understand. For the main menu, like for lunch, means you'll have like biryani like that. Yeah. It's not mandatory. It's like your choice. Or each and every family they will be having a special menu of theirs.
Regardless of religion, everyone can celebrate Deepavali. Having different religions is not a restriction to continue the traditions.
I agree with you, Aisha. Religion must not be confused as race. Racial identity should not be erased, even though the individual is now having a different religion than the majority of them have.
Interesting, isn't it? Apparently, the celebration of Deepavali in Malaysia is about the same as in India. It makes sense, I guess, since it's originated in India. Well, we have now reached the end of our session. Oh wait, there's another session? Well, ladies and gentlemen, apparently we have a bonus session. I definitely did not forget to add that to the introduction. Anyway, roll it, grammar! Well, time flies and our chat hour session has come to a close. As the session's main host, I'd like to thank everyone in the audience, all of the hosts, and everyone who works behind the scenes for making the session a success. I sincerely appreciate everyone for taking the time to watch our session. Isn't today's chat hour session fun and entertaining? I'm hoping so. Okay, so we have basically provided some facts on Deepavali celebrations within and outside of our country. As Malaysians, we should be eager to learn more about our cultures so that we may better understand one another and therefore live together in peace. The most important aspect to attend is unity, and knowledge about various cultures is undoubtedly the best approach to eliminate misconceptions among the public. Last but not least, the TESL B Chat Hour crew hopes that you all have a good time and learn something today during the Chat Hour session. It's time to say goodbye, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the day. Peace out.